19 India wins freedom. The story of India's fight for freedom is a saga of courage and sacrifice. Let's read this story. The year 1915 was a crucial year in the India's struggle for freedom. In this year, Gandhiji returned to India from South Africa. Gandhiji was born on 2nd October 1869 at Porbandar, Gujarat. Gandhiji studied law in England. After getting his degree, he went to South Africa in 1893 on a legal assignment. There he saw the pathetic condition of Indians. They were ill treated and humiliated by the whites. In South Africa, Gandhiji faced discrimination when he was thrown off a train at Pietermaritzburg after refusing to move from the first class to make room for a European passenger. After witnessing firsthand the injustice faced by the Indians, Gandhiji started to question his people's status within society. He started Satyagraha, which means insistence on the truth. It was a method of non-violent resistance. Gandhiji achieved a great success in his campaign in South Africa. His experience in South Africa helped him a lot when he came back to India. He returned to India in January 1915. After coming back, he traveled to different parts of his country to know more about the people. He was shocked to see the condition of the poor. Social evils like the caste system kept the people divided and backward. People of low caste and the untouchables were treated badly. Gandhiji decided to work for the unity of people. He gave the name Harijans to untouchables. He asked the people not to follow the caste system. He began to take an active part in the freedom struggle. After World War I, British passed several acts of or laws which were harsh and violated the basic rights of human beings. One of such acts was the Rowlatt Act of 1919. Anybody could be arrested without a trial according to this act. Gandhiji asked the people to protest against such unjust laws. Demonstrations and meetings were held all over the nation. Under this leadership, nearly the whole country joined the Satyagraha movement. On 13 April 1919, a public meeting was held in Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar. It was attended by more than 10,000 men, women, and children. There was just one entrance to the park, which was blocked by the British Army on the orders of General Dyer. After blocking the gate, the army started firing at the unarmed people who had no means of escaping. More than 1,000 people were killed and many more were wounded. It was a cold blooded murder of innocent people. After the Jallianwala Bagh incident, Mahatma Gandhi started the non-cooperation movement. According to this movement, people were asked not to cooperate with the British government. Indians left their government posts, refused to pay taxes, and boycotted all foreign goods. Lawyers boycotted law courts. Children stopped going to schools, government schools and colleges, and joined Indian schools and colleges. When the First World War ended in 1919, it was decided that Turkey would be divided among the victorious powers. The decision made the Indian Muslims angry, as the Sultan of Turkey was also the religious head of Muslims all over the world. Under the leadership of Shaukat Ali, Muhammad Ali, and Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, Indian Muslims launched the movement called Khilafat movement. Gandhiji felt that it was the best opportunity for bringing about Hindu-Muslim unity. The non-cooperation movement was based on non-violent means, but Gandhiji was bitterly upset when people became violent at Chori Chora in Uttar Pradesh in 1922. Angry countrymen set fire to a police station and 22 British policemen were killed. Gandhiji immediately called off the movement, which made people very unhappy. During the non-cooperation movement, many young leaders joined Gandhiji. Among them were Jawaharlal Nehru, Sarojini Naidu, Subhash Chandra Bose, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. Non-revolutionaries. Some people believed that violence is the only answer to violence. They were known as revolutionaries. Among these revolutionaries were Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, Ashfaqullah Khan, Sukhdev B.K. Dutt, Rajguru, Ram Prasad Bismil, and Jatin Das. In 1926, British made certain changes in the administration of India as law and order was difficult to handle. So they sent a commission under Sir Simon to India. He was sent to investigate what was wrong so that new changes would be implemented. As there was not even a single Indian on the commission, the people greeted the commission with black flags and shouted, "Simon, go back." In one such protest, Lala Lajpat Rai was very badly injured in a lathi charge, because of which he died after a few days. On 8 April 1929, Bhagat Singh and B.K. Dutt exploded two bombs on the floor on the Central Assembly. They made no attempt to escape. Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, and Sukhdev were sentenced to death. Jatin Das died in a jail after keeping a fast for many days. Many revolutionaries laid down their lives for their motherland. In 1929, the Congress session was held at Lahore. In this session, the leaders declared complete independence, or Purna Swaraj, as its demand. The leaders pleaded the people not to rest until they achieved complete independence. Gandhiji launched the civil disobedience movement. He called upon Indians to boycott foreign goods and refuse to pay taxes, especially the tax on salt, to the British government. Gandhiji decided to start the civil disobedience movement by breaking the salt law. Salt law did not permit Indians to make salt from the sea. He, along with his followers, led a procession from his ashram in Ahmedabad to Dandi to break the salt law. This journey of Gandhiji was called the Dandi March. The more the British government tried to crush the revolt arising in different parts of the country, the more the people joined the movement from all over the country. People joined the movement under various leaders. In northwestern India, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan led them. He was popularly known as Frontier Gandhi. In northeast, 13 years old Rani Gaidilu led them. People fought under C. Rajgopalachari in the south. The young Rani was captured in 1932 and sentenced to life imprisonment. When the British found it difficult to handle the movement, they decided to introduce some reforms in India. The Government of India Act was passed in 1935. It permitted more participation of Indians in the administration, but partially all power remained in the hands of the British. Though people were not happy with the changes, still they took a chance. The Congress took part in the elections and won in many states. There it formed governments. Quit India movement. The World War II broke out in 1939. The British forced India into the war without the consent of the Indian leaders. In protest, the Congress government in the provinces resigned. That they demanded complete independence before joining the war, but the British government turned down their demand. For assuring Indian cooperation, the British sent a mission to India under Sir Stafford Cripps, but it was not fruitful. Under the leadership of Gandhiji, the Indian National Congress started the Quit India movement. The British immediately arrested Gandhiji and many other leaders. Subhash Chandra Bose and the Indian National Army. Subhash Chandra Bose had been elected President of Indian National Congress twice. He somehow managed to escape from India in 1941 to organize an army to fight against the British from outside the country. In 1943, Subhash Chandra Bose formed the Azad Hind Fauj, or Indian National Army, with the help of Japan. The aim was to free India from the British rule. Subhash Chandra Bose gave the slogan Jai Hind and Dilli Chalo. The World War II ended in 1945. By this time, the British realized that they could no longer rule over India. They agreed to free India, but the country would be divided into India and Pakistan. This was a result of the divide and rule policy followed by the British. This policy led to the partition of our country. India became free on 15th August 1947. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru became India's first Prime Minister and Dr. Rajendra Prasad became the first President of the country.